Good afternoon, everyone. Virgo here. It is September 16th, 2019. Happy Monday to everyone. And basically what I'm going to do is just update you guys on a couple of things that I'm getting lots and lots of questions about in the comment section. One of those things is people asking me what started all this, what are her original charges on the Sharon Tracy Gale Bay arrest. All right, so let me go over this with you just real quickly here. So some of you may remember the DelcoTimes.com article that came out called "The Moorish Americans Held for Trial on Risking Catastrophe and Gun Charges" that came out on April 16th of 2019. I'm going to read a couple of paragraphs on this, and then I'll link it in the description for those of you that need to read it again, or for those of you that have never seen it before. Two people identifying as Moorish American nationals have been held over for trial on charges including risking a catastrophe for allegedly powering an Upper Darby twin home with a generator, propane tank, and car batteries. Sharon Gale, also known as Sharon Tracy Gale Bay, 43, the former owner of the residence, and DeCorey Pitts, also known as DeCorey Pitts L, 41, represented themselves at a preliminary hearing before Magisterial District Judge Ann Barodaco Friday. Remember, this was on the 16th of April of 2019. Attorney Taylor Dunn said both had declined representation from the Delaware County Public Defender's Office. So Sharon decided and DeCorey decided that they were going to go ahead and defend themselves. They did not want representation, and continued further with their case. Now, they were charged with the following. So if we go over here, this is, by the way, the docket sheet from the Court of Common Pleas of Delaware County in Pennsylvania Commonwealth. And if you take a look at this area where it says charges, you will be able to see what the charges are. They're both the same for both individuals, or at least have been up to this point. There's additional charges that will be added onto Sharon now due to her jumping bail, but regardless, all of the original charges are the same. So number one, which is a felony, risking catastrophe. Risking catastrophe was charged because of the fact that they had daisy chained a bunch of car batteries together, 10 to 12 to be exact, I believe, to a propane tank and a generator in order to put electricity in the home. Now, there are two minor children that were living in the home with them, and as a result of that, this is a big problem, of course. So they've also got misdemeanor charges of recklessly endangering another person. And the reason behind that is because literally, if a spark had been in the wrong place, the entire block could have gone up because of the way that this was rigged. Endangering the welfare of children. And that is because there were children in the home that were under the age of 18, and a couple of them were under the age of 15, according to what I have heard. Conspiracy of endangering the welfare of children, conspiracy of risking catastrophe, and conspiracy of recklessly endangering another person are also all on here, and that is, of course, because of the daisy chaining of those car batteries. It's very, very dangerous hooking something like that up to propane and a generator. All right, so all of those things were held to lower court, meaning that they were going to trial. There's 7 felonies on here and 7 misdemeanors on here. So we're looking at 7 fairly serious charges, and that is the story. Now, what happened was on April 18th of 2019, someone bailed Sharon out at 10% of what her bail amount was, which was $50,000 that was set for her. Someone bailed her out at $5,000, 10% of that, and she was to be going to her hearing on the 19th of August in which she jumped bail. She never showed up. As a result of that, she got a failure to appear bench warrant placed on her, in which you can see the trial here was set for 8/19, okay, at 9:30 a.m. She never showed up to that. So as a result of that, they put a bench warrant on her, which you can see right here, okay, and she took off and basically just didn't bother to show up, didn't bother to do anything. They revoked that bail, so that's no longer a possibility, and the person who actually put the funds up is not getting their money back. At this point, there's a secondary issue that's going on where she has now been rearrested as of yesterday, the 15th of September, right around 1:20 Eastern time. And now she is having to see a judge today, or has seen a judge today. We have not gotten the results of that yet. That was at 1:45 p.m. Eastern time, with regards to that bench warrant and whether her bail completely will be revoked, meaning that she will not get bail again in any way, shape, or form, which is the normal process of someone who jumps bail. And she, of course, is now confined to the Delaware County Prison. Now, taking this just a tad bit further here, there are a couple of things I want to talk to you about with regards to this. Okay, one of the things I want to talk to you about is Vine. So vinelink.com is actually the victims registry. What this allows you to do is to get status changes. You can be notified, as you see this button over here. If you push that, it gives you options to get text messages, emails, or letters from the correctional facility with any changes or updates with regards to this particular offender. So, she's in the system because there are victims. If you have been a victim of Sharon's, you are able to actually get notified of the status changes, and that can be very helpful if you're concerned. There were a lot of people that were concerned on her street, so this is one of the ways that you would be able to get a notification should anything change and she be released or given the opportunity of bail again, which is not foreseen, but it could happen because you just never know. This gives information as far as her age, her race, her the contact facility that she's in. As you can see, she's in George W. Hill Correction Facility, which is the county prison in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. It's got her offender number, her date of birth, her booking number, and the number to get in touch, the number rather for the jail number, booking number. So that additional information is on vinelink.com. It'll be in the description if you should need it for any reason. So that's the first thing I wanted to make mention of. So the next thing that I want to make mention of is a video that actually went up by Noble L. Now, the disgusting part about this is that Noble L clearly has no idea what the hell she's talking about, and I'll prove that to you in just a moment. But before I do, I'm going to take you over here to this GoFundMe that just went up 14 or 15 hours ago, calling to free Sharon Tracy Gale Bay and asking people to donate up to so that they can raise up to $52,000 to free Sharon, supposedly. But what doesn't make sense about that is that absolutely yesterday when this went up, the bench warrant hearing had only been scheduled for 1:45 p.m. today. That bench warrant hearing is what will actually determine whether or not any amount of money will get Sharon Tracy Gale Bay out of jail. So why are you collecting funds on something that you don't even know whether or not you're going to be able to get her out of jail? And why $52,000? Any of you that are willing to give to this GoFundMe, I would caution you in doing so, because the party that has put this up clearly does not know as of yet whether or not bail will even be accepted at all. So, and where did you get the figure 52,000? Her original bail was 50,000. So why is it that you would assume that 52,000 somehow would be enough to get somebody who already jumped bail once out of jail? It's not making sense. Regardless, let's move in a little bit further with this, and another reason why this GoFundMe is very suspicious and doesn't make sense. So here's Noble L's video from yesterday, and she put this up directly after the arrest of Sharon Tracy Gale Bay, thanking all of the trolls and heirs for sharing remedies to supposedly free judges. And you'll notice in here she puts attention to all trolls. Thank you for your support, as we can monetize all true bills at any time in the unforeseen future. And any heir more can do so on our behalf. Thank you for your continued support. What's so silly about this is, obviously, Noble L has no idea what a true bill is. I'm going to take you over here to the actual description. It's very, very simple. A true bill is a bill of indictment found by a grand jury to be supported by sufficient evidence to justify the hearing of a case. It's simply terminology that's legal terminology. It has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with what she's claiming. A bill of indictment found by a grand jury to be supported by sufficient evidence to justify that they should hear the case. That's it. She's claiming she can monetize that somehow, which is really stupid, and she's claiming that she's got a true bill on every single individual who's made any kind of comment or statement with regards to Sharon Tracy Gale Bay that feels that she needs to be where she is right now. Con artists need to be behind bars. I'm sorry that you don't seem to understand that. I'm also sorry that you don't understand what a true bill is properly, but regardless of that, that tells me something. That tells me that this GoFundMe is a problem, because Noble L feels that she can monetize true bills for all of these individuals, and if that's the case, she can monetize them and they'd have well over $52,000. So why in the world would anybody need to give to a GoFundMe? It just simply doesn't make any sense. My guess is this is a con, this is a scam, and the people who provide funds to it are not going to be getting anybody out of prison or jail. What they're going to be doing is helping a con artist. All right, so let's take a look back over here again and refresh this and see whether or not anything has changed on this docket. My guess is that it has not, and that we are going to have to probably wait until the end of today, maybe even tomorrow, before we find out what the judge said. But here we are with an updated copy, and let's just double check before I sign off here. All right, so here we go with the arrest from yesterday, showing her in Delaware County Prison and that she is still in custody. That was there before. There's no new bail as of right now, which I don't anticipate that there will be. So far, I'm not seeing any other updates whatsoever. Yeah, there's no updates whatsoever, and there may not be anything showing until late this afternoon or possibly even morning. Sometimes, depending on the caseload, it takes the clerk a while to get the actual dockets updated. So I want to make mention one more time, for those of you that are thinking of giving to this GoFundMe, why would you need to give to a GoFundMe where supposedly Noble L's got it all taken care of? Okay, and another thing, why would you be giving to a GoFundMe that has no idea whether or not $52,000 would be enough, or whether the court is even going to grant bail at all? Once somebody flees and goes on the lam the way Sharon did, they can no longer be trusted no matter what the amount of bail is. So under normal circumstances, judges do not give out a second opportunity. I'm just saying, you might want to think before you open your wallet. All right, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful day. If anything goes up on this docket this afternoon, I will certainly post it for you immediately. But my guess is it'll probably be morning before we actually see the change. I'll keep checking on it, let you know if anything else changes, and talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.